A very good afternoon to all the students. So today is our first class of mobile application development where we learn programming in Android. So the topic of the day is history and the features of Android. Later on we may do versions and Android architecture. So this is the outline of the presentation. So where what is Android, from where Android has come, we will all study about the history, then we'll study about the features, then we will study about the versions of the Android, and then later on we'll study about the Android architecture. So Android is an open source Linux based mobile operating system. It is not limited to mobiles only, but it is used in currently used in various devices like mobiles, tablets, smartwatches, TVs, etc. And it acquires approximately 75% of the world market. In the total apps, what has been there on the different Play stores, including Apple, including your Google. So it requires almost 75% of the entire market. So let's see the definition of the Android, because it is made up of three keywords: open source, Linux based, and operating system. So let's see these terms one by one. Now, first of all, what is operating system? As we all know, operating system is an interface between the user and the hardware. So that means user gives some command to the application. Application passes it to OS kernel. OS kernel interprets it into the machine language and gives the instruction to the hardware. So the instruction could be from the software to the hardware, or it could be hardware to the hardware, or it could be like, for example, you want to play a song on your laptops. Want to play a song on your laptops. Now what happens? You open the VLC media player, you give the command. VLC media player is what? It is an application. You give the command to VLC media player, it will open the library, instructs the OS to basically play the song. And how will you know that song is being played? When you hear its audio. That means the audio hardware will give you the song playing voice. So the hardware will play the song for you, and you start listening to the song. You will get an audio onto your laptops or onto your microphones, whatever you have attached to it for listening. So operating system is a basically interface between the user and the hardware. So command is given from the software and the hardware starts playing the song. Second is hardware to the hardware. Usually whenever you go to the big hotels or somewhere in public places, there are sensor based taps. Where we use the washroom, so they are sensor based taps. No, sensor is hardware, tap is a hardware. When you press your hands, when you place your hands beneath the tap senses the hand and it starts flowing. The tap will start flowing. Then, after you remove your hands, the sensor will sense that there are no hands, so it will stop. So that means the command is from hardware to hardware. Hardware is what? Sensor. Sensor is sensing your hand. Then it is giving the command to the tap to switch on. Fine. When it finds no hand, then it gives the command to switch off. That means again operating system is there, which is acting as an interface between the user. User passes the command to the hardware, and hardware again senses your hand, passes it to the software, and software again asks the hardware, that is the tap, to release the water. So this is software to hardware, or hardware to hardware command can be given. So the operating system is there. That means you are giving any command. For example, you want to switch on the light from the Google Alexa. So Alexa is a device. You speak to Alexa. You speak to Alexa. What is Alexa? It is a hardware piece. That means it is giving the command to the hardware that to switch on the light. Light is again a hardware. So hardware to hardware command goes, Alexa says tube light to switch on. Then the tube lights will be switched on. So hardware to hardware command is given by using the operating system and Alexa. Alexa will use its own operating system to command the tube light to switch on. So this is what operating system is, and you can operate this from your mobile. So it is mobile based operating system. That means when your application is installed, your Alexa application is installed on your mobile, it will interact with the operating system of your mobile, which will pass the command to Alexa. Alexa will pass the command to tube light, and your tube light will be switched on. Second, Linux based. Why it is Linux based? Because Linux is a open source. Since Linux is open source, we know everything. What is open source? It is already written here. Android is open source. Linux is only operating system which is open source. That means any user can make the changes to it. And open source is always freeware, or no license fees is being charged. No license fee is being charged. For example, you have bought a laptop with the genuine Windows, fine. If its license period is for 2 years, then as soon as the 2 years period is over, it will ask you to pay the license fee so that you can get the updated Windows. Fine. Every year for Windows, we are paying some fee so that it can be original one and we can get the original updates. Since Linux is an open source, so it is given to the public free of cost. No license fee is being charged, and any user can make the changes according to his requirement into it according to his requirement. The person can also distribute it to the various vendors. See, that means Linux is more secure also. Linux is more secure because if anybody wants to have security features, he want to find the security features, he can work on the security. Since it is an open source, now what happens? Suppose I want to attach pen tab. Today, one thing more has come into the market, pen tab. That is the online board for the, I mean, writing board for the teaching, right? So pen tab has to be attached to my mobile device. Now, how will I attach? Since Android is Linux based, so you can write the drivers for the pen tab, incorporate into the Linux based operating system or Linux kernel. Then you can attach the pen tab to the USB port, and this kernel will translate the command to the driver, and pen tab will start working. That means anyone can have the new piece of hardware which can be attached to the Linux, and later on it can distribute it to the vendors that this piece of Android operating system is also compatible with the pen tab. Fine, this is how it works. Open source means open to all. That is, no license fees is being charged. So any person can make the changes according to his requirement and distribute it to the different vendors uh, for the hardware compatibility. This is how what is Android. Android is open source, Linux based mobile based operating system. Now, since we are using the Android onto the phones, smartwatches, and we are also using it on the TV as we are downloading the various videos, we are doing the live streaming from the Amazon Prime. So that is again going on the Android TV. So that means Android is almost working on the 75% of the devices worldwide, and it is open. So it is very easy for every person. Means Android comes on very affordable phones to the foldable phones. Affordable phones means which are in range of 7 to 10,000, and on the foldable phones that means which are above 1 lakh. or near 1 lakh rupees. Means from small phones to bigger phones or bigger screens, we are using the Android. Even in Samsung Tab, we are using the Android. Even in Lenovo Tabs, we are using the Android. So in bigger devices, bigger screens, we are also using the Android. So that's why it is having the market share of 75% of the devices across the worldwide. So let's see from where this word Android has came from. So there were four friends: Andy Rubin, Nick Sears, Chris Miner, Chris White and Rich Miner. They started this project with the passion for building something for the digital camera. Actually, digital camera were launched into the market, so they wanted to develop a software for the or operating system for the digital cameras which were there in the market, so that they can be used by the common people. So they started one project in Palo Alto Lab in California in year 2003. In year 2003, four of them were friends, and they belong to same college, so they have love for robots and for the digital gadgets. Actually, Andy Rubin was the key person or the head who had actually love for robots, and he insisted his team to work with him because since he wanted to devise something new for the digital gadgets, so he started with the digital camera. Fine. In 2003, they started this company with some funds in 2003. Fine. And in later 2005, and in 2005, they were short of funds. They were short of funds. So they started, they were looking for the investor in the market. So they started giving the presentations. Fine. When they started giving the presentation, in one of the presentation, Google manager named Lowy, Lowia, named Lowy was sitting there. In one of the presentation, when they were presenting their software for the digital cameras, the Google manager Lowy was sitting. He actually found this idea really very interesting. He found this idea of developing the software for the digital camera was very interesting. So Google was already into the search. So it was having his income from the search part. Now they wanted to shift to another platform. So they found this idea very interesting. Now, what did Lowy did? Lowy discussed this project with their seniors and acquired this company in year 2005. With the 2005. In 2005, they acquired this Android inclusive company in 2005. Google acquired it. Now, this deal was done. Google bought or acquired Android for $50 million. Google acquired dollar for 50 billion. This is the cheapest deal in the history of mobile phones. Cheapest deal which has been ever done in the history of mobile, because Google started this in Google built its first Android phone in 2008, and from 2008 onwards till 2021, they are the now majority holder of the market. So they earned a lot. So $50 million was a very small rate which they have paid to acquire this company. Fine. So they in their company they asked the Andy Rubins that he should forget about digital camera, but he should develop the software for the mobile phones which would be there in the market, and they should be aware of the owner's location and his preferences. Fine. So Andy Rubin has given the consent to it. Four of them joined the Android unit of the Google in year 2005. Now four of them becomes the employee of the Google, and they were in the Android unit. So Andy Rubins was made the head or the manager of the Android unit of the Google in 2005. Fine. And his three friends has given this name as Android because Andy was a key player who actually came up the idea for developing the software or the operating system for the digital cameras. So he has love for the robots. So they have given Andy, and synonym for robot is droid. Synonym for robot is droid. So Andy plus droid, it became Android. So here comes the name. Android was given the name as Andy Rubin has love for the robots. So it was given the name as Android. Right. Now what happens after they became the now the software name is decided it is going to be Android, and they were the employees of the unit of Google, Android unit of the Google. Now Andy Rubin started making the developing the operating system. Then Google started the marketing pre-marketing of the software which was being developed by this. Then later many company has given their wish to join them. Fine. They were only first Google was there, then HTC joined them, then Samsung joined them, then Intel joined them. So they became the alliance of 84 companies who actually wanted to have the Android for their own handsets. So OHA stands for, there was one consortium, that is Alliance, Open Handset Alliance. That means they were going to make the hardware part of the handsets, and they were group of 84 companies, which I mentioned are Google, HTC, Samsung, Intel, now Oppo, Vivo are also the part of this alliance. Fine. Then Google asked OHA to provide them the training to develop the Android along with these four people. So OHA has appointed 34-member team. OHA has appointed 34-member team to join four friends, that is Andy, Nick, Chris, and Rich Miner, so that they can develop the Android software. So that they can develop the Android OS. Fine. OHA has given 34-member team from the different companies. The experts from the different companies, 34 experts from the different companies, joined these four members in order to develop the Android operating system. And this OHA was formed. OHA was formed in year 2007. OHA was formed in November 2007. In November 2007, they formed OHA. That means 34 members, 34 experts from the different company joined Andy Rubins and his team in order to develop the Android operating system. And in September 2008, Google launched the first version 1.0 of Android on the HTC handset called HTC Dreams. So with this, Google announced its entry to the mobile market. So Google developed the Android. Now, actually, Android was started by Google and later on led by OHA. Means then OHA people have developed, OHA and Google together have developed the Android. So in September 2008, since Google was the main owner, so Google launched the first version of Android, that is 1.0, on HTC handset, which was called HTC Dreams. Fine. And India got its first handset, that is Samsung i7500 in year 2009, which was priced at 23,000. So first handset which was launched in India with Android was i7500 in year 2009, which was priced at 23K. Fine. And they wanted, actually Samsung or Google wanted to compete Nokia in the market, which was already there in the headphone market, in already there in the mobile phone market from year 2000 and onwards, 2002 3 onwards. At the time, the set 3300 QWERTY set was being used by the people. So they wanted to bring something which was should be user friendly, and so they developed the Android. Fine. So this is how Android came into the market. And since 2009, smaller changes, major changes are being done to the different versions. And you are enjoying today Snow Cone, that is 12 Android 12th version, I think. Android 12th you are using. Since your Pi is 10 and Q is 11, then we are using Snow Cone today. So next is, so Android Incorporation was founded in Palo Alto, California in October 2003 by Andy Rubin, Rich Miner, Nick Sears, and Chris Wright. So they initially started to develop the operating system for the digital camera and later on shifted to the smartphone market because of the low market for the cameras. So their goal was to develop the operating system for a smart mobile device which was aware of its location and the preferences. So next slide. So Google acquired Android, I told you already, in year 2005, and Android Inclusive, a wholly owned part of it. Now Android became the unit of the Google, and Nick Scale was the only person who has left the um Android Inclusive after the acquisition. At this point of time, there was rumors in the market that Google is planning to move into the mobile phone market. Then once at Google, the Rubin was made the head of the team to develop the operating system for the mobile using the Linux kernel. Then Google started the marketing of the platform for the different to the different handset makers with the intention that it will provide the flexible and upgradable system, means the upgradations will be done to the operating system automatically. So this made OHA. I told you what is OHA. OHA is a consortium of 84 companies which together came to get the Android from the Google. So this caused a rumor about the Google intention to enter the mobile market more strong. Means the media was very sure that Google will be entering the mobile market very soon. Then Andy is the nickname of Android is the nickname of Andy Rubin, and he has the love for robots. And because of his love for robots, his co-worker gave this him name Android. Fine. And in October 21st, 2008, Android 1.0 became available to the public with the first ever Android phone called HTC Dream. This Android 1.0 was launched in world market on HTC Dream, but India got its first phone in year 2009 on the Samsung series, Samsung I series. So Google CEO or chairman at that time, that is Eric Schmidt, made this statement: today's announcement is more ambitious than any single Google phone that the press has been speculating about the past few weeks. So our vision is to that the powerful platform we are unveiling will power thousands of different phone models. So actually, they were saying they said that that the Android which or Android operating system which has been developed by them will stay longer in the market, and it did. It has made many companies to survive because of Android only. So, in nutshell, it is a complete set of software for the mobile devices. It contains Linux-based operating system, middleware, and key mobile applications. Then it can be used in various devices such as mobiles, tablets, TVs, etc. And you can also use it on a PDS. So it was initially developed by Google, but later by OHA. Then Java is the main language which is used to primarily code the Android applications. Then OHA is nothing but a group of 84 companies, namely Google, Samsung, Telca, eBay, Intel, Vivo, Oppo, etc. It was established on November 2007 and led by Google. So it is committed to maintain the advanced open standards, provide the services, and deploy the application. And the goal was to invent a device or a smartphone so that it should improve the mobile experience for the end users. So Android operating system contains the Linux kernel, which contains approximately 12 million lines of code, in which there are 3 million lines of XML, 2.8 million lines are of C, 2.1 million lines are of Java, and 1.7 million lines of C++. So this is how Google came. Now, what are the various features? Anything which you are using on the mobile is the feature of Android phone. It is open source. It can customize, anyone can customize the Android platform. That means you can make any hardware device to run on your Android phone because it is made in Linux and Linux kernel is open. You can change the coding of the device drivers and later on make any hardware device to work with. Then there are a lot of mobile applications which can be chosen by the consumer. So it may have interesting features like weather details, opening the screen from the center button, and live newsfeed are there. Then it has the support for the SMS, MMS, WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, and like that. Then it has also many web browsers which are being supported by Android. So you can store the data using SQLite. Their features are relating to connectivity are that you can use GSM, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, etc. Then Android has a Google Play Store to distribute its app. Whichever the apps which are made in Android are uploaded on the on Google Play Store for the distribution, which conquers about the 75% of the global market. So this was the first phone which India got in the year 2009, and its name was Samsung Galaxy i7500, and it was priced at 23K. So these are more details of the features. First is handset layout. That means the screen will vary according to the size of the phone. For example, 5-inch screen will have 5-inch window, 7-inch screen will have 7-inch window, and the layout of the widgets will be accordingly on the mobile phone. So first, the platform is adaptable to larger VGA, 2D, 3D graphics, means whatever the layout is being used, what are the high-end graphics are used on your mobile, according to that the layout is decided. Then OpenGL, again, OpenGL and ES 2.0 are again graphic libraries. Then for storage, we use SQLite because it is a lightweight relational database management system which is used to store the data. Then in connectivity, we have GSM, Edge, CDMA, etc. And we have NFC is near field communication, which you do using Bluetooth. Then you have WiMAX. Then this is like that. Then for messaging, we have SMS and MMS. Then you have multi-language support. You can select the language of your choice and message in that particular language to any other person. Then you can use various browsers. Then these are the various audio and video formats which are being supported by any Android phone till date. So it includes MP3, MIDI, FLAC, Wave, MPG, PNG, GIF, BMP, AAC, HEASC. So these are different music. MPG4, MP3. So these are the various formats which are being supported for WhatsApp, Facebook, and Insta, and other things for live streaming also. So they are being supported. So this is all about the features of the Android. Next is Android version. So what is version? Version is a small change. So as you can see on your screen, there are versions 1.0 to 1.1, 1.2, then 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 like that. Whenever small changes are being made, then the version is changed. That is 1.0 to 1.2 will come under same version. When new features are added, then new version is released. Whenever the new feature is added, then new version is released. So it will be given new name. So it will be given the new name. As you can see on your screen, the Android versions are named after deserts because Andy Rubin liked them. So they were named after deserts. They were sweet. They are named after sweets. Desert is what? Sweet. So they are named after desserts. Now, first was Astro 1.0. And what are the features of it? It was launched in September 2008. So Android 1.0 made its debut on the phone called HTC Dream. I have already told you that in September 2008, we got our first mobile phone. Google has launched its first mobile phone called HTC Dream. Fine. And initially 35 apps were integrated with the Android at the time of launch, which also includes the Google Maps and GPS and Wi-Fi. So it has Android browser. Later on, Google browser was integrated, but initially it started with the Android browser. Fine. Then there was version called Vendor. Although they were not officially named like this, but when they decided to keep its name with the desert name, so they have given Astro to the first version and Vendor name to the second version. It was launched in February 2009. Fine. And with the API level 2. So the features were almost same. So no further changes was done. Then officially first version, which was introduced as an update, was Cupcake version 1.5. And it was launched in year 2009 in April 2009. Fine. Now what does Cupcake contain? Actually, it has a handset with widgets. Like you people see, time now is 3:15 p.m. So it is written like this, and here is some date. So this is on your phone screen. Fine. So you can see the widgets. These are the small areas where the information can be displayed. So these widgets are there. Fine. If you put the weather widget, so it will be written today. Temperature is 21 degrees Celsius. May it be sunny, so then sun will be displayed. If it is cloudy, so just like this image would be displayed. So this is how the widgets are displayed on your screen. Then you have this on-screen mobile phone, on-screen keyboard. That is when you start writing the text, then their keyboard displays queued. Then you can press the keys and write something onto the message bar. That is called on-screen keyboard. Then video recording is there in the camera, and cut and copy function is given for the web browser. That means you can copy the text from your any file, document file, and paste it on the web browser to search for that particular keyword. Then donut came as 1.6. Next is donut. Donut is 1.6, and it has the capability to include the bookmarks and history in the browser. See, you have the browser here, you have the bookmark, like you put star is there to add the links into the bookmark, so you can use this using the star. And even you have control plus H to look into the history, that is what are the various recent tabs that you have visited. So this browser has been the Android browser has been integrated with the bookmarks and the history part. Fine. And also it gives you the battery usage information. Suppose this is a battery, the icon is appearing on the top of the phone and it is saying 75% or 80% when you charge it, or when it gets discharged, the number automatically get a decrease. So this is the donut version. Next is your Eclairs. So Eclairs version came in year 2009, 26 September 2009. It came into the market. Then Eclair has the provision for searching in SMS and text messages. Whatever the text message you are sending and SMS you are sending, you can search in that particular text or SMS messages. Then camera is there with the improved flash light, the light which is at the back side. It starts. You just open it. You can light up the things using the camera flash, and the digital zoom that you can magnify the particular area. Then you have Froyo. Froyo stands for frozen yogurt. Froyo stands for frozen yogurt, and it came into the market in December 2010. Then it was integrated with NFC. NFC is near field communication, which is which is done using the Bluetooth. That means the multiple devices which are having Bluetooth, they can be connected using the NFC. Fine. And it also had the front facing camera and audio file support. Now audio started playing in this Eclair version, and it has also integrated front camera. Although the previous versions have the rear cameras. Rear means at the back side, and front means at the front side. Now the revolution came to the market with the Honeycomb. Aspect ratio is increased. That is, now the screen size was limited to earlier 4-inch, 5-inch phone. Now they have been in aspect ratio is increased. That means that they can move, Android operating system can move to the bigger screens now. So it was made for the tablets. So it was introduced for the tablets, and later on, then we are able to switch it on the phones, or switch it on the TVs and on the smartwatches. So you have 3D graphics support in Honeycomb. Then you have chatting with the Google Talk. Then you have Bluetooth tethering. Then you have full screen mode. That means earlier your photo was like this. You're able to see this much photo in your screen. Now you had the full screen photo. And one more thing, that you can have the more browser tabs. See, you have opened this Google Chrome, and you can have 1 tab, 2 tab, and 3 tab. That means multiple tabs can be opened at a single time. So this was the features of the Honeycomb. Then came the ice cream sandwich, and it is considered as the revolution in the security part. So ice cream sandwich came into the market in the year 2011, where ice cream sandwich has the feature of face recognition for unlocking the phones. That means you can unlock your phone using your face, and you can send the text message to the decline call. Suppose the call is coming to you and you just cut the call, and in response to the decline call, your message is going, I am busy, we'll call you later on. We'll call you later on. So these kind of messages went in ice cream sandwich. Then you have Jelly Beans. Jelly Beans, the Chrome browser became the default, and it was launched in year 2012. The widgets become resizable. Earlier the widgets were fixed. Now they become, you can resize the widgets. And You can have the voice search in the Google Chrome, and you can also have the predictive text. Now, what is predictive text? Suppose I am looking for Android, then number of suggestions comes in Google text box. So you select any one out of these and you will get that here, and you start searching for it. So this is called predictive text. That means something which is in your mind is being predicted by the Google for searching. That is called predictive text. Fine. Then came the KitKat version. So KitKat version was majorly popular, considered popular among the teenagers. At it added the emojis to the Google keyboard. So it added the emojis to the Google keyboard, means added the expression to express yourself. So it got the attention of the teenagers. Then OK button for the Google Voice was placed. Means when you say OK Google, then this kind of waves radiate out of the OK button and it stops. So this button was integrated in KitKat version. And this is made for the small phones. That means it can work with less than 1 GB of RAM. KitKat can work with less than 1 GB of RAM. So this was made for the smaller phones, right? Next came the Lollipop version. Next is the Lollipop. In Lollipop version, it was launched in year 2014 and notification becomes bigger. Earlier, the notification came like this. Now, the notification was displaying on the screen so that you can read the message if it is very important. Means the message is blinking in front screen. So this notification banners were there in Lollipop version. Right? Then or it can be the pop-up alerts. When you click it, it becomes the it is expanded inside the window also. The notification expands inside the window. Then you have Marshmallow. Marshmallow version was launched in October 2015 and it has the fingerprint. Again, security part was enhanced using the fingerprint reader. That you can unlock your phone or lock your phone using the fingerprint. Then you have the support for USB Type-C. You know, Type-C cable is there now. Then 4K mode, that is HD mode for video streaming or video watching. Then you have the permissions. Permissions means whenever you install a new app, then it asks that allowed to whatever the app name is, app wants to access your contacts. This kind of permission gives, you say allow or block. So these kind of permissions were incorporated in Marshmallow version. Fine. Then you can use the voice to lock your screens. Then Nougat. Nougat was launched in 2016. So you can zoom the screen with screen zooming was there. Then you can switch between different apps. Then you can clear the recent apps. Then you have VR platform, that is virtual reality platform. That means you can integrate virtual reality hardware so that you can experience the games in a real manner. So you can use with the help of virtual reality devices. Then picture in picture for Android TV. That means you can mirror your mobile phones to the Android TV to see what is happening in your phone onto the bigger screens. Then notifications were made fancy. Then setting panel you have. I show you what is setting panel. See, this is the kind of setting panel which you will see on your phone. This kind of setting panel was introduced in Nougat. Then different emojis for cakes, for fashion, different emojis and different skin tones were integrated in the Nougat version, right? Then we have Pie, Android Pie. So this was the last version which was named after the dessert. Later on, people named it by them by their own. But sorry, after Nougat it was Oreo. Then we'll come to Pie. Then is Oreo. Oreo was launched in year 2017. So it has settings and notifications are more reliable. So the design was changed. Then light and dark themes in the mobile was given to the user so that working night and day. Then battery indicator for the Bluetooth devices. Battery indicator for the Bluetooth devices was also there. Means you can check the if I'm using this Bluetooth headphone, then the charging level is checked on the laptop or the mobile phone itself. So that indication was given in the Oreo phone. Next is your Pi. So next is uh, Pi. So Pi was launched in 2018, and Pi was the last version which was named after the desert. Then the Android has a plan to change the desert name to the version number itself. Fine. But still, the name was pre-decided, so we have written in the PPT. Otherwise, they are not required. So Pi was the last version. So it has updated the volume indicator. That means volume has been increased and the indication has been given on the software also. Then gesture navigation, you can unlock your phone screen using the gestures of your hand. Then your Android give you the notification when your screen time increases the 7 hours. So you see it gives you the intimation that your screen size has exceeded the 7 hours. So it may be harmful for your eyes to get to go into more screen time. Fine. So this kind of notification which was given with the Android Pie. Next, Android 10 or Q, and it stands for Queen Start. Stands for Queen Start. So what does this bring out? So it was made for the foldable phones. When you open the phone, it behaves as a single screen, although it has been divided into two screens. So when you unfold the mobile phone, it becomes the single screen. So this means this Queen Start was launched for foldable phones. It supported 5G networks. Then smart reply and notification means when you send some message, there is one thing, one box appears like okay. When you press on this okay, this message will go to the other person. Fine. Then sharing shortcuts are there, dark themes are there, then gesture navigation are there. Then you can scan the QR codes on your phone to make any payments. So Wi-Fi and QR codes are there for the sharing. Fine. Next, you have red red velvet cake. So next is your Android 11 or R or red velvet cake. So it has inbuilt screen recorders, media control buttons are there on the device itself. Then smart device that you can control Alexa, you can control lights, fans, or any device from your phone itself. Then one-time permissions are needed to be given, and then auto reset. You can connect any wireless device to the Android phone. Then you can access. You can search the Google using the voice. You can make the searches on the Google using the voice. So voice search has been extended in this version of uh, Android. That is Android Q. Sorry, Android R. Now next is last. That is Android Snow Cone 12. So this is the 12, Android 12 or Snow Cone. So it has screenshot and it was launched in in 2021. Recently, it has been launched. Now, Android runtime module is also given. That means you can run the Android applications. Then you have the Google Play. various components have been added functionality in the Google Play. Then easy Wi-Fi sharing support is also given in this Snow Cone. So this was all about the different versions of the Android. So let's do the architecture of the Android. This is the diagram for the Android architecture or the Android stack. It is having 5 layers and different functionalities are there on each layer. First layer is Linux layer. Linux layer is comprising Linux kernel layer is having the drivers and IPC and power management. So we will see each of them one by one. So we have USB driver. So USB driver provides the Android to interface with the USB devices using USB-C port or B port. Then you can you can use USB to plug and play the devices, or you can transfer the data from using the OTG cable to the Android. Then Bluetooth driver, then you can connect the Bluetooth devices just like I've connected Bluetooth headphones, or you can connect anything which is a Bluetooth camera. You can connect anything for sharing using the Bluetooth. Even you can use hard disks if they are Bluetooth enabled. Then you can transfer the data using the Bluetooth. Then you have Wi-Fi driver so that you can share the Wi-Fi using the Wi-Fi hotspots. So that is done using the Wi-Fi driver. Then you have display driver. So you can use the Android screen to mirror with the LCD or with the Android screen in your homes or with the TVs. So that is done with the display driver. Then audio driver. Android devices comes with the components for the audio driver, audio input and output you can give. I can speak, I can receive the output, or I can hear the voice from the Android device. So that is with the use of audio driver. Now, what is binder? This is very, very important. IPC, inter-process communication. We use the binder to transfer the data in each process. For example, one process wants to transfer the data to the other. So, but in some cases, we don't want to pass the data from one process to the another. So, there should not be any interference or data corruptions. So the process needs to be isolated. So binder actually takes the data from one process to another without being interfering into one another. So it acts as a bridge between the two processes, which will share the data from one process to the another. So this is all about the first layer, that is Linux kernel layer. Then you have the hardware abstraction layer. In the hardware abstraction layer, we have same thing like audio, Bluetooth, camera, and sensors. So that means it provides an interface between the hardware which is to be used and the Java API. For example, I am using camera in my mobile. I have developed an app which will integrate the camera or which will open the camera to take the screenshots. So to open the camera, I need the driver for the camera. I will instruct the Linux kernel to open the driver or to open the camera when I'll run the app. Fine. So this hardware abstraction layer will pass the message to the Linux kernel to open the camera when I will run my app. So that means this is a command or hardware abstraction layer which makes an interface between my application and the Linux kernel to open the actual hardware when I'll be using my app. So this is the function of hardware abstraction layer. Then we have this Android runtime and native C++ libraries. So I'll show you these libraries one by one. So these are the first is Android runtime. So Android, just like in Java, we have JVM to run the Java files. In Android runtime, we have the Dalvik virtual machine DVM to run the Dalvik code. Fine. Now, what is Dalvik code? It is the intermediate form of the code. Java C files are again the source code is in Java, so it is compiled using the Java C, and Java C file are again compiled using the Dalvik virtual machine, and they convert it into the DEX file. So many DEX file makes the one APK file. Fine. So that means whenever the file is compiled in Android, it becomes Dalvik executable or DEX file, and many DEX file comprises the APK file. So Android runtime is used to basically compile the Android code. So ART is for the compiling the Android code. Then you have Media Frameworks library for supporting various media codecs, means various formats of the media, audio or video. We use the Media Framework. Then SQLite for storing the data, which is based on databases. Then FreeType is the font library. Android comes with the pre-installed fast and flexible font engine, means any font you want to use on your app will be available in FreeType library. OpenGL is also for the 2D and 3D graphics. Then you have SSL. SSL is secure. That means if you want to make any payments from your Android phone to any bank website, so that connection will be secured itself using the SSL protocol. Then this SGL is again standard graphic library. That means it's a graphic library which works for the 3D and 2D graphics. Then WebKit is to use the websites in your app. If I want to integrate any website into my app, I have to use the WebKit. Then Surface Manager, it is also used that suppose you are mirroring your image from your phone screen to the TV screen. Now your TV screen is going to be supposedly 29 inches and your phone screen is hardly 5 inches. So rendering is done. That means 2D graphics will be shown as 2D graphics onto the bigger screen. So that is called rendering. Fine. Then third layer is your application framework layer. It consists of the following components. First is activity managers. Whatever the screen you are interacting on your phone is called activity. So whenever you are will be making the first project in your Android Studio, it would be activity. And activity manager is responsible for controlling all the activities in the activity stack. Then content provider, whenever you want to share the data, for example, you save one contact in your phone list, and that is automatically transferred to the WhatsApp. Whenever that person will be online, you'll be able to see it in the WhatsApp list. That means data is being shared from the contact list to the web WhatsApp list. So that is done with the help of content provider. Then resource manager, you will be using multiple XML files, and resource manager is responsible for actually connecting all those XML file to your main Java file, so that you can have the output onto your screen. Then notification is for notification. View system is basically the number group of text boxes or buttons which you will be able to see in your app. Next is telephony manager. Telephony manager is when you are going to send the SMS from your app, or you want to make the calls from your app, or you want to see the or you want to send the some text WhatsApp messages. Then telephony manager will come into play. Then location manager is what? Location manager is when you send somebody's location to trace it out, or send you the location. Then or you need to send some maps to the WhatsApp contact, then location manager will be used. Now the last layer. See, these are the three layers which we have done. Java API framework we have done. Then the system apps, these are the apps which come pre-installed in your phone. Whenever you buy a new phone, these apps become pre-installed, like dialer. Phone button is there from where you make the calls. Then email is there, Gmail small icon is shown. Then calendar is there, camera is there, like that. So many 40, 50 apps which are already integrated in your smartphones. So we will have a brief overview. Then I will wind up this lecture. So in the last layer, underneath everything else lies the Linux kernel. Android relies on the kernel for the drivers and the core services such as security, power management, and memory management. Then hardware abstraction layer, it provides the interface between the devices and the hardware capabilities of the Android to the Java, high-level Java API framework. Then you can access the native C++ library to support the drawing and manipulating of 2D and 3D graphics in your app. Then the Android runtime is responsible. It comes with the core libraries so that we can convert the Java programming files into the DEX files using the ART. Then you can use the APIs to control how your app should look and behave. This is done with the help of these managers. Then you have the system apps which is integrated into your phone when you buy a new phone. So this is all about the Android architecture. So thank you very much for the patient listening. If you have any questions, you can ask me or you can WhatsApp me. Thank you so much.